So before we begin the expedition through the Photoshop Practicum course, let's make sure we have the right equipment. Let's look at the system requirements for our hardware, and we'll also look at the preferences for Photoshop itself to get the best experience in our journey. So here's what Adobe says we need for our hardware to run Photoshop. One of the questions you might be asking is, should I run it on a PC or on a Mac? And the reality is, it's the same software on both platforms, and you'll get pretty much the same performance on both. Traditionally, probably more people in the industry have used Macs, but that's changing with more and more users running Photoshop on a PC. So on the Windows side, we want to make sure we're running Windows 10 64-bit on a Microsoft Intel or AMD processor that's 2 gigahertz or faster. I would recommend at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, although you can get by with 8. It's just going to run much slower. Your PC should have either a discrete GPU, that's a separate card, or an indirect GPU that's built into the CPU, and that should be running DirectX 12, and recommended 4 gigabytes of video RAM or GPU RAM, though you can get by with 1.5. Again, the more video RAM you have, the better performance you're going to get. I'd recommend 1920 by 1280 display or greater. You can run 1200 by 800. If you have an older laptop, the display is 800 by 600, you're not going to run Photoshop on that laptop. Photoshop does require a lot of real estate space for a display. And then 50 gigabytes of recommended space on your hard drive. You want an internet connection because when you install it, you're going to need to do registration. The Macintosh, pretty much the same thing. If you're running the Big Sur Mac OS or later, you can do Intel chips or the new ARM M1, M2 chips as far as your processor. Again, 16 gigabytes of RAM is recommended, and GPU really want 4 gigabytes of VRAM and 1920 by 1080 recommended display. Now again, most modern Macs are going to have a much greater display than that, and 50 gigabytes of space as well. With Photoshop installed, let's take a look at some of the preferences. We can go to the Edit menu and go down to the very bottom and choose Preferences. And I'm going to choose General to start with. And we'll go through each of these items one by one. So here's our Preferences window. Nothing really to change here in the General. This is basically what comes out of the box, but you might check your settings against mine. For the interface, you have some color themes here. I like the darker gray. You might prefer maybe a lighter gray. I find the black harder to read for my eyes, so I'm going to choose the darker gray. Again, really nothing else here we need to be concerned with. For a workspace, those are the default settings. Tool settings, history and content, file handling. Here, make sure that image previews are set to always save. I like to check save as to the original folder. So if we create a PSD file and we want to save, say, a JPEG version, it's going to save it to the same folder. We're going to save in the background. I recommend saving automatically. The default is 10 minutes. You might even consider setting that to 5 minutes. And here's the big one that I recommend. Check the Enable Legacy Save As. That's generally not set as a default, but this will give you a Save As menu option under the File menu that I find really helpful because we're going to do a lot of JPEG and PNG work. And otherwise you got to choose Save Copy. Everything else here should be the default. Export, make sure PNG has transparency checked. That should be a default setting. For performance, for memory usage, I'm going to say you probably want at least 8400 megabytes or 8 gigabytes set up. Again, if you only have 8 gigabytes on your system, that's going to be a lower number. Make sure you have checked using the graphic processor. History states by default is set at 50. That's probably sufficient. If you do a lot of work where you might want to go backwards in time, you might want to set that up to a higher number. The higher the number, though, the more RAM you will need, and the more scratch disk size you will need. Image processing. Two options here are the device or the cloud. I'd recommend using device. The cloud gives generally more detailed results, but it's much slower. For a scratch disk, I would use whatever free space is available. Default cursors, transparency and gamma. And here's another one I recommend changing, and that is the units and rulers. Make sure your rulers is set to pixels. We're mostly going to work in pixels, But at times when we work in inches, maybe for a desktop publishing thing, we want to work in 8.5 by 11 paper, we can change our rulers on the fly. So most we want to work in pixels. Type is going to be in points. For print resolution, 300 pixels per inch. Screen resolution, 72 pixels per inch. Here are the colors for the guides. Again, you might need to come in and change this later. If you're working on a document that has a lot of cyan and blue backgrounds, you may find that those colors for your guides just don't really work well. Plugins, default values, type. Make sure you use smart quotes is selected. The 3D features in Photoshop are going away. We're not going to do anything in 3D in this course. And then technology previews. Once you've got that set up, click OK, and we'll all be running basically on the same type of system. If you'd like to see more videos in the Photoshop Practicum playlist, click the title at the bottom. If you'd like to be alerted to new videos, please click my photo in the top right to subscribe to the channel.